Hello, this is Just Listen, hosted by George. Today is February 13th, 2024. What I want to talk about today is U.S. government policy on appropriation bills and the impact on the taxpayer. What I'm talking about with appropriations is the House and Senate committees get together and they talk about, approve what the priorities are for the U.S. taxpayers abroad and how they can pay for incidents going on around the world. And so these become part of the budget, and then as we see on TV, they get passed, and then money is appropriated to these countries. And what I want to specifically talk about is these countries. And I want to break it down a little bit because it is very relevant for us today. And you, as a U.S. taxpayer, is very important to you. As stated, the current issues are funding for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. That will be the first thing that I talk about. Ukraine. This war has been going on for over 2 years, and the taxpayer is really paying a lot for this war. Now, why are you worried about that? Well, everything translates back into the U.S. taxpayer having to keep funding and funding. The Israel war just started. It's been going on 3 months. And now there's a new one tied in, Taiwan. There is currently nothing going on in Taiwan. I think that the Chinese have threatened to invade. But what really ties in with this thought is our approach, the second policy of preserving democracy and freedom for the world. That's a lofty goal, and I don't think most of us disagree with that. Our data is showing that what that currently means in 2024 is that we are using appropriations that the Congress and then the president sign to pay people, pay these governments to ensure that they stay safe. I think that as a policy needs to be examined because it ties in with this third notion of appropriations. When we're doing this, what are our stated goals for continued funding abroad? What do I mean with this? All of these ideas that I've just said, as 3 of them, are tied together for the U.S. taxpayer. Why? Because we mean well to these other countries. Everybody wants the world to have democracy and for people to have a choice and for people to live, work, and take care of their families. But with the current issues, this funding for the Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan, the only country that really has stated goals is Israel. A little bit of background. Israel is the only country that we gave money that when they went to war, we saw the results of a successful strategy to take out their enemies. Now, any war is terrible. I'm not going to say that I'm going to think that war is okay. But when you have to do it, you have to win. And you should be able to, if someone is giving you money, to tell them what it's going to be used for, what the objectives are, and when do we get out of paying it. With the Ukraine, as I've said before, we've been funding a war that I don't think that, quite frankly, the Ukrainians can win. And furthermore, I think that if we fund Taiwan, it will be the same type deal that we are giving a country aid, funding, appropriation, and we don't know what the outcome will be. Out of the three countries that I've talked about, as stated before, Israel is the only one who has used funding from the U.S. to prepare for conflict. And now we've added Taiwan, who, if they feel that the Chinese are coming to get them, they should be on that border with a military force showing us that they are ready to repel them. We should be helping our allies, and the majority of the American people feel that way, in my opinion. But this continued funding for certain efforts without any goals does not make sense to me, as you will know, because I keep saying it. Why is this important to you? These three general concepts that I'm talking about right now. For the taxpayer, it really means for us that we are paying and paying and paying. I said that 4 times, right? We're not seeing results. And in some of my other podcasts, I keep pointing that out. You as a listener should be worried from the aspect of the policy. Yes, the United States can generate trillions of dollars because we work hard in this country. We have great ideas and we know how to get things done. The issue is this preserving democracy and freedom theme coming from the U.S. government every time somebody objects to what's being spent and for how long. And if you don't think that you're impacted and you're just ignoring it, you're not going to be able to ignore it when taxes go up, or if you're getting any kind of benefits, and this applies to the young people too, when they tell you, hey, well, if you're in your 30s now, you cannot retire until you're 80. I would think about that. And I'm going to do some more series about appropriations and the current events going on in the country, because like I keep telling you, all of these are related. You know, to summarize this one, great nations are brought down by several things. And I'm just going to talk about one this time. The one I'm talking about is when you're doing these appropriation bills abroad and these countries are needing money to wage war to protect themselves, it creates an environment in our country where you don't trust the government, and you also get a little agitated with the government through taxes, higher taxes, more money being put out. Let me know what you think. This is George. This is Just Listen. Have a great day.